So recently, a K-drama just came out called Today's Webtoon, and it is a story about a girl who becomes a webtoon editor. So I am in fact an employee at WEBTOON. I am a WEBTOON producer and I've been working there for about 2 years. So I figured today I'd watch the drama, give some of my thoughts and my live reactions, my live feedback, see what's different, what's the same, and if there's any insight I can give as somebody who works at WEBTOON. Let's jump straight in and hit play. Oh, she's a big fan. That's so cute. Is it about a nine-tailed fox? Okay, this is very, very funny and like a crazy coincidence, but actually I write and produce a story on WEBTOON about a nine-tailed fox. If you want to check it out, it's called Spells from Hell. It is currently almost finished, so you can actually read the whole entire thing if you fast pass it. But yeah, it's also about a nine-tailed fox. So this is a really weird coincidence, but that's pretty cool. I love how the WEBTOON logo is inverted from the actual like WEBTOON logo. It's like the same but different, and then it's not neighbor, it's neon. This is like the same vibe as like copy my homework but don't make it suspicious. So it's only been a year and a half since this neon webtoon has been created. Actually, as you guys may know, webtoon in Korea has been around for a really long time. Actually, I can Google it. So basically the Korean webtoon was launched in 2004, and then the US branch, which is the branch that I work in, was launched in 2014. So it's been quite a long time for both of these webtoons, which is completely different from this story's webtoon, which is, you know, they're a small little startup company, it seems like. Oh my gosh, I love this song and I love this dance. I actually learned a TikTok of it. That is actually so cool. I love that. I'm fangirling. Wow. I have to upload it today, but you didn't give me the manuscript yet. This is literally the story of our lives. Sometimes if the artist is late, the episode could go up like 5 minutes before it's supposed to launch, and it's just like super stressful. It happens pretty frequently. You know, like sometimes you have bad weeks, sometimes you have good weeks, but being the editor, being the producer, like we have to be the ones to be like, I'm sorry, like I understand, like maybe it's a difficult week, but we still have to meet this deadline. And it's just a lot of stress because we're just like, I can't draw it for you obviously, but I wish I could. We don't really have much artists that are like irresponsible. Most of the creators are all very responsible and really simultaneously stressed out, so they would be the ones being like, yeah, I have to go now, I actually like am behind on deadlines, and then everyone would be like, yeah, I get it. So I think like a lot of the creators feel a lot of responsibility towards their projects, so most of them really respect the deadlines and like respect the fact that, you know, they have to work on it, and are the ones that are more stressed. So I'd say the editors are stressed, the producers are stressed, but you know, the creators are probably even more stressed. If you miss the deadline today, it will have a huge impact on our service. That is actually very true. Because we monetize, especially those who are on originals and those who we like monetize their webtoons off of. So, you know, every single episode that goes up new goes up with Fast Pass, and basically Fast Pass means that you can pay to read that episode, and if you miss that deadline, or if you miss that your date to upload your webtoon every single week, you actually miss the opportunity to get readers to click on your webtoon and make that money that you're supposed to be making. So actually missing your deadline kind of hurts like everyone. It hurts the platform because, you know, we're not making money, and also hurts the creator because the creator's not making money. So it's really important actually to meet your deadline. Okay, so she applied for IT, and it looks like it's a very intensive application process with multiple interviews and a lot of people evaluating them, which is really scary. I will say that was not the case for my interviews. It was pretty chill, but I think it's also a cultural difference. I did also go through multiple interviews, but it was one interview with the manager and then one interview with the department lead, and then that was it. The department manager was like, I mean, you're already here, why don't you just do the second interview now. And then I did, and then I met up with David, which is the lead for content, and he talked about Howl's Moving Castle for 15 minutes straight, and I literally left wondering whether or not that was a good thing or a bad thing, if I got the job or not. But it looks like it was a good thing, and I ended up getting the job. I really like her answer, because she talked about how like webtoons give her strength, and like webtoon helped her when she was like healing and stuff. When we look for applicants, and a lot of the people working at Webtoon now are all just really passionate about webtoons. Reading webtoons is just like a source of happiness for us, and it's just, we enjoy reading webtoons, and so we wanted to work at Webtoon. I think that is a majority of how it went for like a lot of us. I mean, for me, like that's literally how it went. This girl's response is on the right page, and this girl, like if she was in our US office, she would be immediately hired. And it looks like the boss guy like really likes her and really likes her response, because he's like smiling, so it's a good sign. Okay, I'm kind of confused if she's going to be applying as a producer or an editor, because those are two different roles. I'm a producer and I am definitely not an editor, so... But to clarify the difference between a producer and an editor helps with somebody who just... a sole creator who just creates like a whole webtoon on their own. The editor is the one that comes in and just gives edits and manages them. And a producer is somebody that finds a team of people in order to create one webtoon. So it requires a lot more managing, and it requires a lot more producing and directing. I'm not sure which one she's gonna be. Oh. So the editorial department is not doing well in ranking. And they want to find an experienced producer over a passionate new producer, because obviously an experienced producer could, I guess, potentially make more money, produce things faster. So I guess that is a very good thing to contemplate about. Ideally, even an experienced producer should be passionate, so... Okay, that is definitely how I reacted as well when I got my job at Webtoon. My first job at Webtoon, I was actually an intern. I was a scriptwriting intern. I felt kind of like this girl, actually, like watching this, you know, because I felt very underqualified, but I was definitely very passionate. And so it came to me as a complete shock when I got the job, and little did I know that my life would change afterwards, literally. So this girl's life is gonna change. What this guy has to do on the first day of work is just like read through like a lineup of like all of their webtoons. That's actually what I did for my internship. For the first week or so, I did nothing but just read webtoons. I was like, that's it? Like, I just read webtoons and I get paid? And my boss was like, yeah, and it was really nice. And then afterwards we kind of talked about it. Managing artist schedules. Meeting deadlines. Okay, so they're really simplifying a lot of things here. This girl's job, all she needs to do is just manage the schedule. There's definitely a lot more that goes into just managing deadlines for artists. There's contracts, there's planning, and then there's, you know, just working with other departments in order to make sure your series gets promotions. Yeah. Okay, I got it. So basically, because Webtoon is not the large, in this story, isn't the large scale Webtoon that we see now, they're sort of kind of like a startup company that started as Gingertoon. They basically have a very small editor department that basically does everything and manages everything and manages the artists. And if basically they miss deadlines and nothing gets put up when it's supposed to get put up, then the department takes a big hit, because obviously they don't really have much to sustain themselves. We have a lot of webtoons on both platforms, and so I mean, obviously if one webtoon doesn't get uploaded on time, it's not really a big deal because we have so many webtoons. If anything, people are just gonna be like confused, but people aren't going to leave the app and people aren't going to stop reading the webtoon, you know. Readers are very understanding and accommodating. And sometimes, you know, people leave like an episode, put up an episode, and it's just something like, hey, like I was really like busy this week, or I had like mental health issues, whatever, like next episode will be next week instead, I'm really sorry, whatever, leave a note. And like the comments are really like understanding and supportive. So like this is an oversimplification for sure.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't happen. So if your series doesn't meet a deadline, okay, first of all, the artists that we find that become originals and have a working relationship with Webtoon have already been producing episodes on a weekly basis, on a consistent basis for a really, really long time, and we see that they're very reliable creators. And then we would pick them up as, you know, to have a working relationship with them so that they are an original. And so it is very, very, very rare that you would find somebody who consistently can't meet their deadlines, because the people that we are choosing to collaborate with in order to monetize are creators that, you know, have a lot of experience in working with deadlines and have really good communication with the editors. So I mean, if anything does happen that like a creator can't upload like their episode on a weekly basis, we would probably communicate with the creator and they would go on hiatus or something like that. I mean, you've seen it with a lot of series. I know I Love You went on hiatus for a really long time. Let's Play went on hiatus for a really long time, and that's something that's really communicated beforehand. It's a little bit like jarring that like if you miss your deadlines for a couple of weeks, then your service gets terminated. And even if you post it on Canvas, you can not post for like months and then post another episode and fans will still be like, yo, this is great. So I still haven't figured out if it's supposed to be PD or producer, or if it's supposed to be editor, but basically the previous producer didn't allow this guy to read any comments because he could get hurt or lose focus. I felt this a lot personally when I was writing and creating Spells from Hell. I wasn't the artist, I was just the writer and the producer. But it is very, very easy, especially when you're like new to like posting your art and your story online, to be very affected by the comments. And so much so that I wanted to change my story to satisfy readers more. It took a really, really long time of adjusting and realizing that these people are just saying whatever they want to say, and like, you know, if you take every single comment to heart, it would just be a really, really big stressful burden. Like every single creator has to go through that phase where every comment is just taken so personally, and then just learning to let go of the comments and to not really care about what the comments say. The first couple of comments that you see, a lot of the time fast pass comments, they're from like really loyal readers who have been following, who have been invested, who feel like a personal connection to your work, versus like comments that you'd see like maybe a week or 2 or 3 later, like months later. So if you look through all of the comments, you would just get a mixture of stuff. People who are kind of on the fence about your series, people who don't really know what they're reading. So if you are to read comments, I recommend to just read it like when it launches, and you know, kind of get a general idea of, oh, okay, people like it, people, you know, whatever it is, and then just leave it. Definitely that is good advice. Definitely I would have to say that as a producer or an editor, we don't really have as much power to ban a creator from reading their own comments. There's no way we could physically ban you from reading comments. And then like putting all the comments together and like presenting it to the artist is also a lot of work, and it's not something that we do. Wait, so they're visiting every single artist's house? Okay, that is definitely not something that we do, but I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool if we did do that. We also don't get involved in the creator's personal life. We don't want to go too in-depth and really like manage the creator's life. Like that is their responsibility. If they are hanging out with some influencer and not focusing on work, it is not our responsibility to go fix that for them. If anything, we would help them from like an editorial or producer point of view, and we'd say, do you need any assistance? Do you need any, you know, extensions? Do you need any help, or do you need to take a hiatus? Like, talk to us so we can work with you, but we will never ever go into your life and tell you to stop hanging out with this person or start doing this, go to bed earlier or whatever, because that is all the artist's responsibility. And also imagine how tired we'd be if like we had to do that for every single creator. Like that'd be crazy. How do I put it? If we chose to work with a creator, obviously we would think that their work is good, and obviously we'd find work that has already had really positive reception in the Canvas section, and obviously we would find webtoons that are very promising, right, and already have a lot of positive comments, or already have a very big fan base. It's just a safe bet that if we move them to originals, they would likely also have a very positive response and reception. So this is definitely just for the sake of the drama. And yeah, so with that, that is the end of the first episode. So I'm gonna give some of my general thoughts. First of all, the main character, the girl, she's very, very cute, and I love her enthusiasm and her passion, and just how she is super, super obsessed with this one webtoon, and it gave her strength during hard times, and so she really, really wanted to work at webtoon. That is so realistic, and that literally is probably like all of us. We really, really enjoy the platform, and we really wanted to work there because we really enjoyed being the consumer. She literally switched to a completely different field, and the only thing that is driving her and helping her do well in this new role is just her passion for webtoons. That's it. No prior experience whatsoever. And I have to say that is true for a lot of us working at Webtoon. In college, I actually was a psychology major, so you would imagine that I was quite surprised, just like her, when I got the job. And we have so many other people in my department, such as, you know, one person used to be in medical school, you know, one person used to be a journalist. We come from all sorts of different walks of life, all sorts of different backgrounds, but everyone is united here as like producers and editors, just because we really, really, really like webtoons and we really like art and comics. That part I really identified with, and I really thought was just very cool. Because I related to her in a sense. Those are my general thoughts. Will I continue watching? I think it's a very like feel-good K-drama. Like it's like a K-drama to watch just to like get your mind off things. But it is about Webtoon, and because I work at Webtoon, I think I would just be watching it from a very critical eye, like how I've been watching it now, where I'm like, that's not what we actually do. Like why is this happening, you know? So definitely still a really good drama, a K-drama. I really enjoyed watching it, and the main character is really, really cute, and I think she is the one carrying the story. Like I would watch it for her, basically. Yeah, that is basically my reaction to the drama, today's webtoon. I hope you enjoyed it, and I definitely enjoyed watching it and talking about it. I put out videos about my job, about working at Webtoon. I post vlogs and art, and I talk about mental health, and I talk about my personal life on this channel. So if you're interested, feel free to subscribe and be up to date with my life as a Webtoon producer. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed watching this video, and with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!